Hey there, quirky folks! I'm your host, Anna, and today we'll be looking at all the upcoming movies of March that you guys should be looking forward to. January was a great month for Hollywood movies in particular. February had a bad start with Knock at the Cabin, but Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania picked up the pace. Now March is the month that we'll get to see all of Hollywood come together as one. Usually, we cover all the exciting movies and TV shows together, but there's so much content arriving in March that we've got to cover movies and TV series separately. So many exciting movies are going to be launched that you'd be confused about what you need to watch. But before we look at them, it would be amazing if you guys would hit those like and subscribe buttons to support our channel. With that out of the way, let's start with the first film, Creed 3. Rocky obviously played a huge role in Creed's career, but now, Creed needs to get out of his mentor's shadow. Stallone chose to exit from Creed 3 because the movie has taken a different and much darker direction than he would have liked. But the weight of his absence will be balanced by the newcomer, Jonathan Majors. He will arguably prove to be the toughest rival against Creed, because unlike his past opponents, this old friend of his would come for blood. Creed 3 arrives on March 3rd, and it will be followed by Scream 6. "2022's Scream 5 rejuvenated the whole Scream franchise as a lot of fans got on board with Melissa Barrera, Sam Carpenter, and Courtney Cox. New ghost-faced killings got everyone spooked. But following the events of those murders, the 4 survivors leave Woodsboro behind and start a fresh chapter in New York City. Now we'll see Jenna Ortega pull in a huge crowd coming off after her successful run in Netflix's Wednesday. She and the other survivors will get involved in yet another murder mystery as they fight for life against a new killer. Scream 6 hits the theaters on March 10th, and on the same day we'll get Luther, The Fallen Son. So far, we've seen 5 seasons of BBC's hit crime thriller television series starring Idris Elba as Detective John Luther. And now, this story will culminate with a special movie. After 20 episodes of solving some spine-chilling murders, Luther was disgraced and put into prison. He'd be haunted by the fact that he couldn't catch a cyber-psychopath who now taunts him. When this serial killer terrorizes London, Luther will break out of prison to finish the job by any means necessary. It's going to be a do-or-die situation for Elba's disgraced detective, who will be starring alongside Andy Serkis. Besides Luther the Fallen Son, you could also watch a movie called Inside. This film will excite all Willem Dafoe fans as he plays a high-end art thief called Nemo. On a job gone wrong, he'd get trapped inside a high-tech luxury New York penthouse. Being locked up with nothing but priceless works of art, he must use all his cunning and invention to survive. It will be interesting to see how Nemo makes it out of this survival movie without dying or getting caught. This film also hits theaters on March 10th. I'm sure that it may not do well in the theaters, but it could turn out to be a pretty good movie for OTT platforms. Next up, we'll be getting 65. This is an exciting prospect as Sam Raimi has produced this action sci-fi horror movie. And we'll be seeing Adam Driver battle to survive against a bunch of dinosaurs. The premise of the film is simple, as Driver will be involved in interstellar travel along with many other passengers. But after hitting an asteroid out of nowhere, his ship will crash on a mysterious planet. Now the crazy part of that is, this planet turns out to be Earth itself. While traveling through space, the ship would somehow travel through time and end up on Earth millions of years ago in the Jurassic Age. Sony's attempt at a horrifying Jurassic World will hit theaters on March 17th. And on the same day we'll get Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Ow! The Shazam family, which is also dubbed as the family of fiascos, will be taking on a couple of original DC villains created for this film. These 2 goddesses are after Shazam's powers, and it will be upon Billy and his foster siblings to stop them.
Family! Guys, that was a signal!
But it's good that they will get some help from the daughter of Zeus. While Billy and co take on a dragon, Wonder Woman will also show up to kick some butts in the final act. Shazam! Fury of the Gods is set to arrive on March 17th. Next up, we'll get the greatest action movie of the month, John Wick Chapter 4.
I'm going to need a gun.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die.
You've got to be excited for the bloodshed that is headed your way. So far, Mr. Wick has literally killed over 300 people on screen in his 3 outings. And now director Chad Stahelski will make him take down another army of assassins. By the end of Parabellum, Wick was cast out and all his privileges were taken away from him. Now he is angry, and he is coming to kill everyone who wronged him. This time around, the stakes have been raised as the franchise is added in action movie maestros like Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, Hiroyuki Sanada, and Bill Skarsgård. Lionsgate will release John Wick Chapter 4 on March 24th, and on the same day we'll also get Champions. This heartwarming comedy movie will excite all Woody Harrelson fans.
What an idiot.
He uses his charm to play a former minor league basketball coach, Marcus. And after a series of missteps, Marcus is ordered by the court to manage a team of players with intellectual disabilities. And just as he begins to take his job seriously, he realizes that this team can go further than anyone ever imagined. Again, Champions may not do well in the theaters, but it will make for a pretty cool streaming release in the following months. Next up, we'll be getting Batman, the Doom That Came to Gotham.
Mean to do this city harm.
You may or may not find DC's live-action movies great, but almost all the animated DC movies have always been top-notch. We get a new animated Batman-related project almost every year, and 2023 won't be any different because DC is launching Batman, the Doom That Came to Gotham. David Giuntoli voices Batman in a reimagined tale that takes place in 1920s Gotham City. Batman will be fighting supernatural forces while taking on alternate versions of popular villains like Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, and Two-Face. This animated adventure gets its digital release on March 28th. And after it, Netflix will launch Murder Mystery 2 2023.
Bonjour.
The first murder mystery involving Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston as Nick Spitz and Audrey was enjoyed by many.
I am Nick Spitz. This is my wife, Allison. I can't believe...
Audrey. I'm Audrey.
I said Audrey.
After solving their initial string of murders, they've officially turned into a detective couple. And now they will get involved in another mystery after being invited to a friend's wedding. But guess what? It is their friend who gets kidnapped. And it will be upon Audrey and Nick to find him and possibly stay away from murders while they solve the case. Murder Mystery begins streaming on March 31st. Next up, we've got Dungeons & Dragons. Paramount is bringing the legendary role-playing board game to life in the greatest way possible. Chris Pine plays a charming thief and teams up with Regé-Jean Page's team and Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and Furious movies. They'd go on an epic heist to retrieve a lost relic. But things could get insanely dangerous as they come across Hugh Grant's big villain and with a few fire-breathing dragons. Dungeons & Dragons hits the theaters on March 31st. Okay, so these were all the amazing movies releasing in the month of March. It is arguably the biggest month for movies, as there is no other month of the year that brings such competition and quality. Which of these March releases are you excited about? Let us know in the comments, and once again, don't forget to click on those like and subscribe buttons. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.